Bright Duty. Every student matters.
Hello dear students, welcome to another lecture, and in this lecture we are going to talk about informal letters. Now, like I have already told you in the video that we covered for formal letters, there are two types of letters that we are going to talk about, formal as well as the informal letters. Where the formal letters are written to people you don't know, you write letters of complaints, request and inquiry to them. Informal letters are friendly letters that you write to your friends, your relatives, to your near and dear ones to discuss about things which are personal in nature. Now, what are informal letters? So, informal letters are those letters which we write to discuss about our holidays. We write to our friends and relatives when we want to discuss about the examinations or their results. We can write the informal letter to people in order to congratulate them on what they have achieved, or congratulating them for having gone to a different place altogether. To your pen pals means people who you are friends with just because of exchanging letters. This is not very much favorable nowadays, but this was, people used to make friends using letters. Okay. Special events, if you have, such as weddings, you wish to congratulate about something, then there is some sort of a sympathy letter that you're writing to someone. Welcoming letter, invitation to someone for a visit to your place or school, all these are the subjects that are to be included in an informal letter. Now, what are the things that we need to keep in mind when writing an informal letter? We should always open our letter with a cheerful remark, okay, on a very positive and happy note, indicating the other person that you are happy to be writing. So the other person should read and get to know that it was good for you to write to them. Go ahead with asking some questions about the other person's life. So you can actually, in informal letters, you have the liberty, you have the freedom to discuss something personal with the other person. As this is a friendly letter, you are free to ask in an informal manner, and it should not sound like an interview. So you have to make sure that when you are asking questions from somebody, you are not making it sound like an interview. Share with the reader what you've been doing lately. So when you're writing a letter to someone, you have to share with that person what you are doing nowadays, what are the books that you've read, the movies or the plays that you've seen, the sports events that you've participated in, any local or national political issues that you wish to talk about, news of your friends, then something that made you laugh, an item you just bought, plans for summer, fall, next year, the weather, changes at work, your pet's behavior, your hobbies, your collections, all these things are to be included in an informal letter. Okay. Close the letter with an expression of love and affection. So when you are closing the letter, when you are ending the letter, the reader should feel love and affection from your end, and you have to write this statement at the end as well, that I'm looking forward to your response. I'm looking forward to see you or to hear you very soon. Okay. Now, what are the things that we need to avoid writing in an informal letter? We should never begin with I don't know why I am writing, because I don't have anything to say, or you know how I hate writing letters, or I am sorry for not writing sooner, Unless, of course, you can say it with wit and originality. So, basically, like I just told you above, your letter should always begin on a positive and cheerful note. And if you're beginning your letter with statements like this, that I don't know why I'm writing this letter, I hate writing letters, this does not give a very good feeling to the reader. Don't write only questions, so your letter should not only comprise of questions and questions and questions that you're asking from the other person, and neither are you allowed to pass any comments on the lives of the other person. So, then, for example, your remodeled kitchen sounds fantastic. These are some of the examples. The new car sounds great. Your party must have been a lot of fun. So, these personal comments can actually be included in the letter, and not only should it comprise of only questions. Don't complain in your letter, don't be negative unless you can do it in an entertaining manner. A cheerful, positive tone is welcome. Don't end with I've bored you long enough or I'd better quit before you fall asleep. So such lines should also not be used. Instead, say how much you would enjoy hearing from them when time allows, or how much you miss them, or again how happy you are about the news. So your letter should only reflect to the other person how happy and how cheerful you are on reading it. Now, a few things that you need to keep in mind when writing. Now, these letters, that is the informal letters, also known as the friendly letters, they are different from the formal letters, because if you intend to tell somebody some story, to convey some personal information, then you can freely do it through these informal letters. You should avoid, when writing an informal letter, you should avoid reporting about the list of events. So, if there are some list of events, you should avoid listing them. Instead, your focus on elaborating those events with detailed descriptions. So, just listing down the events should not be your forte. You should elaborate on them. You should give detail about that, which is very important. Okay, so we should use standard English. Okay, we should always write a simple English. We should not write slangs, for example, by the way, we should not use this. Okay, so these are all the slangs, the short forms of things. Many students actually use it in the papers, believing that this is an informal letter and you are allowed to use it. But no, informal letter does not mean that you can use such phrases or such words. One more thing which is to be kept in mind is that such letters must have moving and emotional words to show affection for the reader. So, how much love and affection you have for the reader should be very well emphasized upon through these letters. They should be written in a way as if the reader could feel those emotions through appropriate use of words. So, these letters, these emotional letters should always be written in certain ways, so that the one who's reading it can actually feel how emotional and how much full of love you are. Avoid writing those things which the reader already knows. So, in order to just extend the word limit, please don't keep on writing things unnecessarily. Some students also assume that contractions are not allowed in friendly or informal letters. The answer is you can use contraction and colloquial words which would render a personal touch to your writing. So, using contractions is okay, provided that you use only the universal contractions. Like I always tell you, for example, for cannot we have the contraction can't. For would not we have the contraction won't. For did not, we have the contraction did. So these are what? These are universal contractions that everybody uses and everybody is aware of. But if you make a contraction of your own, which is not known to anyone, then that is going to, leave a very bad impression on the reader. So we should avoid doing that. Now let us look at the detailed format of this informal letter with the help of a sample itself. So you are Priya, a resident of 52A DDA Flats, Preet Vihar, New Delhi. So your complete address is given in the first line. You have recently learnt that your cousin has been regularly missing his classes. Write a letter to your brother telling him about the importance of attending classes regularly. So you see, you are writing a letter to your brother, and obviously that is a very close and a friendly relation. So you need not worry about using a formal and a basic tone. You can be informal as much as you can. So the first thing that we have to write in the first 3 lines, we write the sender's address. It is given in the question only, 52A DDA Flats, Preet Vihar, New Delhi. So the complete address of the sender has been given and we write the same thing. Then we leave a line. We write the date when the letter is written. So 2nd June 2010. Again after writing the date, we leave a line and then we write the salutation. What is the salutation? Dear cousin, or if you know the name of your cousin, if it is given in the question, then you may even use the name of that cousin of yours. From the very next line, you start writing, I received a letter from your mother yesterday and was saddened. I was very sad to know that you are not doing well in your school. Your class teacher had reported to your parents that you have become a part of a group of rowdy students. Rowdy refers to those students who do not lay a lot of importance to studying and are involved in some, unethical things and characters. I have told that apart from scoring poorly in all these subjects, you have been constantly bunking the classes. I have also known you to be a sincere and hard-working student. Therefore, it goes without saying that I had never expected this from you. Your parents are extremely tensed about your performance. I assured them that given a chance, you would not let any of us down. So, since I am writing a letter to my brother, I am also mentioning that, about the parents, that they were very sad to know about what you've done. I have assured them that given a chance, you would not let any of us down. Keep your chin up and work hard. Keep your chin up means now cheer up. Be cheerful, be happy, be positive and work hard. Let me know if you need any kind of help. And who has written this letter? Your sister, or you can even write yours lovingly or yours affectionately. So you can write such words followed by your name at the end. So this is how we write an informal letter. Now in order to understand such letters better, I have written for you 2 questions. Now we are not going to solve those questions, but the reason why I have written those questions for you is so that you can understand that if you get something like this, how are you going to plan your letter? So, first is inviting a friend. So, you are studying English at a private language school attended by many international students. You are planning a surprise birthday party for a friend who has been feeling particularly sad and homesick. So, you want to plan a party for one of your friends. You have to write a letter to other classmates inviting them to your party. So we've understood the question well. You are studying English language at a private language school and there are a lot of international students studying with you. Now there you have a friend who feels very sad, who's feeling very homesick, and you wish to organize a party for that child. So what are the things that you're going to include in your letter? You first will explain the reason for the party that you are hosting. You will give the date and the time of the party. You will also suggest what your classmates could bring along with them at the party. So this is how you are going to divide and plan your informal letter. Another question, advising a friend about a holiday. So you have a friend and you wish to advise that friend of yours about a holiday. So an English speaking friend wants to spend a 2-week holiday in your region and has written asking for information and advice. Write a letter to your friend, and what are you supposed to write in the letter? Offer to find somewhere to stay. So you want to know what all are the possible places for you to stay. So that is the first thing that you will write. Give advice about what to do. So what all are the things that can be done is another thing that you'd make a mention of. And obviously according to the season, according to the weather, what are the most appropriate clothes that are to be brought along, that also needs to be mentioned. So dear students, as you saw that the format of the informal letter is simpler as compared to the formal letter, wherein the formal letters we had the receiver's address, the sender's address, subject and salutation and a lot of things. Informal letter only expects you to write the sender's address, date, salutation, and you start by expressing your feelings. And as the name suggests, informal or friendly letters, these are written to those people whom you know very well and have a very good bond with. So my dear students, I am very sure that this topic is very much clear to you. So I shall see you all in my next lecture.